Here's a question for you. Has Hollywood been subconsciously preparing people for the tribulation and in particular the rapture for decades? I believe they have. Let's take a look. So there have been many movies made over the years about alien abductions and alien invasions and things coming from elsewhere and just various different things that the Antichrist is going to be using as a foundation for what he's going to use to explain the rapture away, and then the beginning of the tribulation period as things begin unfolding as they do in the book of Revelation. Those have all been depicted in movies over and over again as well. We've seen that in movies like Poltergeist, where a child was abducted into a television set. We've seen it in Avengers Infinity War, where Thanos snaps his fingers and the entire world, half the population, begins to disappear and vanish into dust. We've seen that in the Tom Cruise movie, The War of the Worlds, which was released by Steven Spielberg, where the aliens would shoot people and they would vanish into a puff of dust and their clothes would float away on the breeze. Movies like these and others have gotten us used to the idea of people vanishing suddenly, sometimes very large numbers of people. Sometimes they vanish into a puff of dust. Sometimes they disappear, leaving only clothes behind. Many different things that could very well be used to explain the events of the rapture. And of course, there have been so-called Christian movies, things like Left Behind series and all that, that also portray these events in a very realistic way to try and get people used to these ideas. In addition to the rapture, they are also preparing the world for the events of the tribulation period with movies like Deep Impact and Armageddon, where there are depictions of large asteroids or objects falling towards Earth, something that is very similar to that which is described in the book of Revelation. There are movies about alien invasions and wars and all different things that portray events very close to what the Bible describes. I don't know that Hollywood is necessarily doing this intentionally, but I believe there is a spiritual force behind this that is purposely getting the world ready to receive the lie of the Antichrist. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 8 through 12, we're told of what happens after the rapture. To those who rejected Christ and salvation before the rapture, and it says that God will send them strong delusion that they should believe the lie of the Antichrist. This is what we're talking about here, is what this lie of the Antichrist is going to be all about and how that foundation is being set even now. In those verses we read, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned, who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness." Those verses talk about the coming of the Antichrist and how after the rapture that those who rejected Christ before that time will not get a second chance, but they will believe the lie that the Antichrist gives. The foundation for that lie is being set by Hollywood even now as we speak. After making my short video on the rapture, I had this on my heart and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's important that we are very careful about what we allow into our hearts and our minds and our homes, because Hollywood is not a friend to the born-again believer. They are preparing the stage for the Antichrist. He's coming soon, just as Jesus Christ is also coming soon. I hope you're ready for the Lord's return, and if you haven't trusted in Jesus Christ, you need to do it today. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Romans 10:13.